What it do, man? Welcome to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast. I'm Kyle, and we got Trevor here. So, what's up, dude?
Not much, man. Literally, we're watching the Rams Bears game right now.
Yeah,
And, I'm
like,
turning it on right now because of what you just said.
Dude, that play was insane to go in overtime. He freaking scrambles like 15 yards back and then just Hail Marys it to the back of the end zone.
Oh, dude. And the receiver, he was way too open. How do you go through like a scramble like that and then have that guy be that open?
Because the NFL's rigged.
No one wants Caleb Williams to win. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? He's a great quarterback.
Dude, he sucks, man. He might be an okay quarterback, but he sucks as a person.
Maybe.
That dude, he thought he was God's gift to earth at USC, writing like F Utah on his fingernails, and he did it with the other schools too. Like, that dude sucks. I mean,
the numbers don't lie, man. Like, he's completely turned this Bears team around.
So. Let's give credit to the coach. Don't give credit to Williams. Come on, man.
The coach isn't the one throwing the ball, dude. Like, look at that last play. The coach isn't doing that.
Nah, man. Will not give credit to Williams. I don't care. I don't care how good he might be. Screw that guy.
Well, I don't agree.
We are not a sports podcast, though.
Anyways, we could be, except
we watch a lot of sports.
We do watch a lot of sports.
Dude, the games have all been good. The games have all been good. The Seattle game, not so much. I'm a Seattle fan. I loved it, but the actual game itself, not that great. So, yeah.
Have you heard the conspiracies going on with like the 49ers?
No.
I guess since they opened their like new practice facility, their practice facility's under like electrical wires or something. Like, you know the like really big electrical towers that like.
Sure. Yeah. I got them by my house.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you should pay attention to this because there's like some study that because of the like electrical current being put off of it is like causing injuries with like long-term exposure to it. And if you look at statistically, the like injury rate of their players since they moved to this new facility is like astronomical. So that's like the big conspiracy.
No, man, that's ridiculous. That's insane. So, but
dude.
Listen,
I don't know.
They maybe it's giving them superpowers because they won a bunch of games that they shouldn't have won too. So trade-offs.
That's true too. So, yeah, man, they have all been good games. I'm just glad that it's not like the usual teams people for the last little. I'm just glad. I guess with that being said, I'm just glad it's not Kansas City. So
you know what? I'm super bummed about Buffalo. I feel like Josh Allen, man, like he seems like the guy that you want to win, and they just can't get over the hump. No. So like, what do? Do they switch their coach? Like, how do they change it up? They should have won yesterday.
Probably.
So
probably. Nah, well, we'll see. Yeah, it's been good. Anyways, back to music, since that's what we're supposed to talk about. Yeah. What else you got going on?
I mean, not too much. Like we were just talking about it. There's been a few shows announced here in Salt Lake. Like we have Risk coming through, Snuffed on Sight. We got a show coming through for that. But I haven't been paying. Listen, man. So I switched jobs, right? I'm not on my phone nearly as much. I will say it's a good thing. Not as good for the podcast because I'm not paying attention to social medias as much. But yeah, I don't know. Like I catch the few shows that are being posted about, but I don't catch like the really big nationwide announcements, I feel like. So
yeah. Also, like I think stuff's just starting to trickle out. Like there's been a couple like song releases and a few tours announced, but
yeah,
for the most part, everyone's still gearing up for this year,
Fair.
you know. So like new music, Poison the Well released another single.
Yeah.
I actually really like it. I really like how this album, because this is the second single they've released, right?
Yeah, the other one was a while ago, right? It was like back in November or something like that, or December.
But I guess
Um,
that's not on this album. That was just a single they released.
is that how it is? Trembling level. So that holy cow, that was clear back in January. That
Hmm.
was a full year ago that they released that.
Yeah.
So it probably was. It was probably just a standalone single, which
Okay.
I really, really
Yeah, me
like
too.
that one.
But I really like this Thoroughbred song from Poison the Well. I think it's pretty good. I think that this is going to be a really good album. I don't know. There's some of these bands that like I have a little more faith in coming back and releasing music, and this is one of them. So I
It's
think it's going to be
interesting.
good.
I mean, when we did the Poison the Well episode, like Tropic Raw was it was lower on our list of the Poison the Well albums, right? But it's still a phenomenal album. It's just different. I
Yeah,
feel like this though is even a step above the Tropic Rot.
I do
I
too.
like the stuff that they've put out more recently than I think I enjoyed that album.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, Trembling Level was super. It's crazy that it's been a whole year.
That's wild to me. I swear we were talking about that in like November or October, but
Yeah,
no, it was a year ago.
yeah.
It's
But
insane.
yeah, go check out their new song. And then I know Converge released a new song. Um, I think it's interesting that we have the first and the last song from this album. So the new song is called "We Were Never the Same." Um, I feel like if you just listen to this song out of the context of where it fits on the album, you're probably like, "Eh, the song's all right." I feel like knowing that it's the last song of the album makes it interesting because
So we were never the same as the last song. Where
uh-huh.
are you finding the track list?
Apple Music, when they release, like when they have upcoming albums, a lot of times it'll be the like track list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me look at Spotify. Oh, yeah. Okay. That is interesting. I thought when you were saying that it was the first and the last one, I thought we were never the same was going to be the first song off the
Oh.
album because of like how that opening like pattern comes in, like the drums just kind of warming up and stuff. It
Mhm.
feels like it could be an opening song.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
but
it feels like it could be a closer too, but it feels like
I
it could
will
be an
say, like,
opener.
opening with "Love Is Not Enough" and having that song just be, like, punch you right in the gut, like, right from the beginning, I think this album's gonna be great, dude. I think
Dude,
ending it with the way with "We Were Never the Same," like, it does sound like a good closer album because or a closer song. I don't know. It's interesting that you would do the first and last song of an album, so
that is interesting. Love is not enough is I prefer that out of the two.
right.
But if you're going to get that chaotic and that heavy out the gates kind of thing, I've got a lot of hopes that this is going to be a freaking heavy
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, and, like, this is missed a little bit, and maybe this is part of my, like, issues with some of the bands releasing EPs only. Is like you miss being able to have the fun flow of an album, right? Because you figure like Love Is Not Enough is going to come out swinging. Bad Faith, Distract and Divide, the next two songs are probably going to be just like your average Converge song. To Feel Something might be softer, and then like 5 and 6 are just going to go like nuts again. You know what I mean? Like you get the like
Hopefully.
cool ups and downs of albums, right? Like I enjoy that with albums.
Dude, that's actually very interesting. I'm curious now that you've laid that out, right? Come out the gates with Love's Not Enough. Like you said, track 2 and 3. What do you think? Are they going to be more chaotic or are they going to be more straightforward, like metalcore style? What do you
I think it'll
think?
be more straightforward metalcore style.
You do? I
Yeah.
think they go a little more chaotic on those. And then you said 4, just the song title alone is giving you the vibes of probably like a little bit softer, maybe a
Yeah.
little slower. But then 5 and 6, I think this is where you get into the maybe need a little bit of a breather. So maybe this is the more straightforward metalcore, but it's just heavy. You get
Yeah.
some breakdowns, get some gnarly stuff in there. But what happens 7, 8, and 9? What happens in those? Do
I
they
don't know.
keep it up? Do they keep up
Hey,
the
this is an interesting concept because like think of the albums you listen to. How many albums you listen to where songs 7, 8, 9 are your favorites? It doesn't
I
happen,
mean,
dude. These are
it
where they
doesn't
stick
happen a
songs.
lot.
Yeah.
Every now and again, they'll slip like an extreme banger, a heater, right into one of those
Yeah.
three. Like I'm thinking of like Under Oath, right? They're only chasing safety. Dangerous Business, isn't that like track 7? Well, that's like probably one of the best songs on that album.
Is it 7 or 6? I feel like it's 6.
Is it? I thought
It's
it was
6.
like late.
Downset Go is 7.
Okay, and Downset Go. That's
And I don't feel
a
very
solid
receptive
song.
today is 8. I'm content with losing is 9. Like even then, those are good songs. Like, don't get me wrong, like these are good songs, but like 1 through 6 is definitely stronger. Maybe not 5 because of Blue Note, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, think about, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I think the best thing you can do is come out swinging with these. So, like, most of these bands we talk about, their first songs are like usually our favorites, but you know,
Sure. Okay, so like if you jump over to Define the Gray Line against just sticking on Under Oath, Writing on the Walls is
yeah,
track
right.
9.
And that's
Yeah.
yeah. There's
So
one.
I mean, like, it's gonna be interesting because there's a chance that maybe one of the best songs on the album falls in there, but there's also a chance that maybe not. You know what I mean? Because I do
Right.
think you're right. I think that a lot, especially back in the day when you built an album, everyone listens to tracks 1 through 6.
Right.
You know what I mean? After that, maybe you're a little bit burnt out of the album, burnt out of the band or whatever, like you're swapping CDs or something. So the second half of the album was not getting as much love, getting as much credit. If you put one of your banger songs though on the back where you're just like everyone you show it to is like, yeah, this is the song of the album, maybe it keeps people more engaged.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
interesting.
bring back full lengths. So
Now
that's all I'm
that
saying.
back to that point though, I think more EPs have come out because people realize people are only making it through 6 songs anyways. Like we don't
I
need
don't
to add the
know.
extra 4. Like
Yeah, but I think bands like,
screw this Kyle guy. Who cares
I
about
know, right?
that one dude?
But I think about like bands that have really good interludes. I mean, we talk about this is stuff we've hashed a whole bunch, but
Yeah.
like some of the interludes are great. Like I don't know. I I don't know. I miss the like artistic flow of an album where there's thoughts on where you put songs and the flow of it and interludes and I don't know. I
Yeah.
miss that. So
Yeah. I mean, it's fair. It's a fair point. Uh guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how many of like these older bands come back and really kind of keep going with the full lengths and stuff versus an older band that comes back and maybe only gives us an EP or
right.
another single with 2 to 3 songs on it kind of thing. It's dope to see Converge and Poison the Well both back with
Yeah.
longer albums.
It's like, dude,
So
what you just like look at yourself, you're like, what year is it? You know?
yeah, yeah,
Like talking about tours, like All Shall Perish is touring, you know?
yeah.
And they're
Well, and then
like
I mean, like
All
last
Shall
year we had Dead Guy put out an album and stuff, like we
right.
talked about. Like it's cool, man. Like I think that there's pros and cons to all of the technology and all the growth in technology, right? I think that it made it a lot easier for these bands to just share what they're writing together and be
Right.
able to write full albums without having to leave for 2 months and go huddle in the woods and rent a
Right.
cabin and do all that. Like that stuff's dope and it usually returns pretty awesome stuff. But also, like, you don't have to do that anymore.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. So this All Shall Perish tour, it's got bleeding. It's just Texas dates, I guess. Austin, they're playing Corpus, which is sick. Like
yeah, that is sick.
that's random. So it's Austin, Corpus Christi, and then Dallas, and it's Bleeding Through, I Declare War, and the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. It's
Yeah.
wild, dude. Except Tony Danza's not coming to Dallas, which hurts me a little bit. But
Does it hurt you? Were you a big Tony fan?
like, no. But do I want to see them? Yeah. Like
Fair.
especially on a
That's
tour like
fair.
this would have been a ton of fun. So
Dude, I think it was 2. I love Tony Danza 2. That
yeah,
album's so freaking good.
yeah. So
So
that'll be a fun tour. The other one, I think that was the only one that I had tour wise. There's another tour you said coming to Salt Lake, a band we're going to talk about today. If you're into ska, so
Yeah. Yeah.
JER, Bad Operation, and Kill Lincoln,
Kill
right?
Lincoln. Yeah.
They're
Which
cool too.
I don't think it's JER. I think it's Jer. Because
Oh,
the guy who does it is his name's Jeremy. And
okay.
I think it's abbreviated for Jer. I
All
know he
right.
capitalizes the first three, but I
I
think that
feel
that's
like
what it is.
I saw dots though. Did I not?
I mean, they're not on Spotify, but and
Okay.
maybe he does. I don't know, but I
Oh,
think
he
he's
doesn't.
just abbreviating his name.
This
I
is
just think it's
okay.
Jer.
All right, Jer. My bad.
So
We established in the last episode that we can't read, so
that's fair. That is
yeah.
absolutely fair. So, well, where are we starting with this? Are we gonna start right there with ska, or are we gonna start?
We can start with ska. Let's start with
Gonna
ska.
start ska.
So
I'm good with that.
today we're gonna be talking about a couple. I don't know if local bands is the correct word for the ska band Bad Operation. We're gonna talk about. I mean I know they're a little bit bigger. I think we want to talk about them because it is. I feel like they are a very like influential, not influential, but like they're a band you need to know about right now in ska. And I don't think that there's enough talk about ska, especially in the hardcore scene, which is wild. Because come on, we should all be fans of ska. But Bad Operation, probably not the smallest band, but I really want people to listen to it because I think there's like good crossover for them to get more listeners and stuff. So, um, man, I started listening to these guys a couple years ago when they came out with their album
I
Bad
think it's
Operation.
self-titled, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2020 Bad Operation. They call it New Tone Ska, which I think is kind of sick. They're from New Orleans. They're very more similar to Two Tone Ska, which is probably why they call it New Tone Ska. But not a lot of horns. Um, more the like offbeat, rhythm of the guitar with keyboards and stuff.
So this is what I found interesting about them. I don't listen to a ton of ska today, right? Like
Mhm.
you are definitely the guy who listens to more ska, but these guys are super solid. So when you say they're probably not at the level of most of like the local bands we talk about, they're probably bigger.
Mhm.
You go and look at their Spotify though, so they're at like 4,400 monthly listeners. Solid, right? That's good. It's probably bigger than a lot of the bands we talk about. But then you go and look at the two bands who they're going on the tour with. Kill Lincoln's at 15,000 and Jer is at 33,000. So comparatively, yeah, they are much smaller for what's
Yeah.
going on. I I love this sound. I think it's great. It's more reggae. Is very built off of the organ, which I
Mhm.
thought was really cool. And really heavy bass lines are driving it. And they said very specifically, they're like, we wanted to pull the punk out and we wanted to pull kind of that third wave faster ska out a little bit. And they wanted clean tones. So there's your kind of two-tone stuff and
Yeah.
like the homage to early ska
Like the
music.
specials and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting in queen tones and stuff. But I thought it was really interesting that they like really tried to pull some of that punk out while keeping that ska influence because they don't want to be called a reggae band. They want to be called
Right.
a ska band.
Okay. And for people listening to us that are maybe newer, we did an episode where we talked about Less Than Jake. Was that last year? Well, yeah, it was last year. It's only January
I
now.
mean, everything's been last year at this point,
Would have been
or
last
2 years
year.
ago.
And we kind of went over the history of ska music, and I think that's what grabbed me so much when I listened to these guys is like, man, we grew up on Less Than Jake. We grew up on Real Big Fish. We grew up on the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. It wasn't until I like actually started caring about learning of like the history of music that I started to learn about like ska music's been around since like the late 50s, like it came before reggae music, and then there's all these different waves of ska and they all have different sounds to them, and there's different like thought processes to it. And I grew up only being familiar with like the third wave of ska with like it was very horn heavy. This is not that. And I think this, to me at the time, before I like knew the history of all this, felt really cool to me. I have dabbled in reggae. Um, this felt really cool. It was like a cool crossover, you know? One thing that made me laugh, and another reason why I think this is very relevant to talk about these guys, is like, do you remember that meme going around for a while that was like the Oppenheimer guy and then the Barbie, and it was like right next to each other, and it was like comparing the two, you know?
Like Barbenheimer, yeah.
Yeah, Barbenheimer. Like,
Yeah.
there was a post on social media that was like, tell me a band that fits this meme. And all these people got on were like, Bad Operation. Cause like the music is like, it's not all super upbeat, right? It's not the Mighty Mighty Boston ska, but it's not, you know, grindcore, evil, grimy stuff. It's like, it's more of a positive sound, right? It's ska music. It's what you know, it's ska music.
Yeah, keep going.
But you listen, you read the lyrics, and it's super politically driven. It's very like up to date with the things that's going on in society. And I was like, dang, that's the perfect way to do it. Like, this is exactly right. Like, you know, music wise, it's Barbie, lyric wise, Oppenheimer, you know? And I think that's great because we talk a lot about hardcore music and the message that hardcore usually comes with, you know, its roots are in being very politically driven, always having a message, standing for stuff. However, hardcore music a lot of times is not very accessible to people. They don't like it.
Fair.
I think ska, especially a sound like Bad Operation, can be very accessible to a lot of people and still get the message across that hardcore and punk has nailed down for a lot of years.
I 100% agree with you. And it's funny because you're saying all this, and then did you read any of the articles that were written about these guys kind of up front? Like Brooklyn Vegan did a piece on them and everything like that. So what they literally say that. They say we want to make sure that there's a deeper level to our music. We want to make sure that there's a message that's being driven across. But why can't we do that in a happy, dancey tone? Like they say that. And there's no better example of that than their song Stay Inside. Like literally, it comes out, and it's kind of funny because the sound that you get, it almost feels a little Halloween-y to an extent. Like you would get like a little bit of like Halloween party vibes to it. But the first thing he says is, I just want to dance. But then like it says like stay inside or you'll be killed. You know what I mean? And like there's a lot of, I think a lot of this was driven from, especially like it's very applicable today with everything going on in the world today, with all the raids that are taking place and everything like that. People are fearful to even leave their houses. Like there were posts, especially like October time when like ICE was really picking up, where I know we have a lot of like California followers. We follow a lot of California people, and a lot of people are posting, if you need groceries, message me. I will go pick them up for you if you are concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up, this song is the epitome of that message, you know? But you listen to it and it's done in an upbeat, positive beat and everything like that. Like, yeah, it sucks, man. But why can't we, you know, package that in something that doesn't make you feel like shit every time you listen to it?
Right. Or, you know, sometimes like I really appreciate and have grown to love like hardcore and being able to go to shows and have like an outlet for anger, you know, and mosh and, you know, let go of that emotion. I also feel like though there's a time and a place where like I want to think about this stuff, but I also don't want to worry about losing teeth.
Yeah.
And like this is such a great way to do that. Like I've seen their concerts, man. They look like a ton of fun. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see them when they come to Dallas. I gotta find a way to see them. But it's like sometimes being in a space like this where you can all just dance and be there for the same reason and hear the same message is just as important as when I go to a show and I'm, you know, throwing a kid, you know, 3 rows out, you know, moshing and stuff, right? Like there needs to be a space for everyone to outlet this. And I think it's great, man. Like, I think it's really awesome that there are bands that are playing ska music that are coming out with this message in this environment and stuff. And genuinely, the music rocks, dude. Like they have such a cool ska sound because they can go. They do have songs with horns, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
can't remember them. They do have
I
a
think
couple songs
every
with horns.
song pretty much has horns, but it's like a smaller piece to it.
Yeah.
Like most of the stuff is again very organ driven, very bass heavy driven, and then it's like that kind of typical uh all offbeat guitar
Yeah.
work that you hear, you
So
know?
how do you feel about songs like Siren's Call and like Little Man? Because they're very slow. Like it's very slow where you just kind of want to like sit there and like head bob and stuff to it. Like or do you like the faster beat, Grandma's Car from their EP type
I will
songs?
say my favorite song that they've put out is Grandma's Car.
Okay.
Like I think that it's fantastic. Um the reason I say that is their vocalist. I think their vocalist is just getting started. You listen to him sing, and there's a lot of depth to his vocals. And I think that he could be fantastic. And the fact that he's doing this in a ska band, like he could be singing for a number of different
Yeah.
genres or different things and stuff. And I think that it fits very well. I'll be honest, Little Man's a little hard for me to listen to.
Okay.
Like, listen, I'm not that into reggae.
Uh-huh.
I'm not into like early, like really early ska stuff where this was much more the island vibes, like life is slower,
Right.
everything's a little easier and stuff. I do like the upbeat. Obviously, I came into ska through bands like Less Than Jake, through
Hmm.
bands like Real Big Fish. Um, I haven't totally done my homework and gone all the way back. Like I can appreciate all that stuff. And like Little Man, it's a cool song. It's a
Yeah.
dope song, but I'd want to hear this like if I'm at the beach, like sitting in like a cafe or like
Yeah.
getting lunch or something, not necessarily to like drive around to, in my opinion. Like that's just, it's not the best. I think the best song off this album is Peachy, and
Peachy.
Peachy's fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got fast, kind of surfer beat. It's
Uh-huh.
upbeat. Like I really enjoy it. I think that the organ underlay following around with it is fantastic.
The like
So
tempo
yeah,
change in Peachy, where it's like
yeah,
really fast and he's going like ooh, and then
yeah,
it stops like to the verse and it like kind of like breaks down a little bit,
a
right? And
little
you
bit,
just like go
yeah.
back to yeah, dude. Peachy's a sweet song for
Peachy's
sure.
dope. Like, and then you mentioned Siren's Call. I think I like Siren's Call a little bit more than I like Little Man, uh, which is surprising because I think it's even a little slower. But it's almost slower enough that instead of like getting lunch, you're at coffee house vibes. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
a little bit even more chill. So this album is great. I've listened to this album several times over the last few days. Starting off with Perilous is fantastic. Like I said, Peachy's probably my favorite song on there. There's nothing bad on it though. Like it's all super solid. But
Yeah.
in Perilous, like you do get a little bit of like the like funk to it where like he'll say a
Mhm.
word and he'll be like perilous and like like he goes like up with it, like it's just fun. There's a lot of fun
Yeah.
stuff about this album.
I think you nailed it on the head though, where you talked about the vocalist and his like depth in his vocals because he goes from Perilous, where he can have fun like that, to a song like Baby in Arms, where he like will hit a falsetto
Yeah.
and stuff, and like you can hear his range, but it's like this really deep depth in his range. Like it's like you said, it's very impressive for like a especially a ska vocalist, because usually
Yeah.
like I don't know, I don't know,
Like to be
most
honest,
ska vocalists are just like whatever, like it's good,
oh
but
yeah.
whatever.
No, like straight up, like you listen to some of the ska stuff and like the vocalists are just bad. Like they're just bad. Like, but it's part of the allure of ska
Yeah,
is everyone's kind of just like dressing up. Like you think of like the Aquabats, right?
yeah,
Like everyone's dressing up or just ska in general, big goofy glasses, bowling shirts, like
right.
just the whole aesthetic is
Andy
just
Samberg and Brooklyn 99.
we're goofing around. A
Yeah,
hundred,
yeah,
100%, right?
yeah,
But I'll go back to Grandma's Car. Like I would like to hear this guy attempt to sing like some like Frank Sinatra or something like that, like legitimately try. Because you listen to when he's like going a little bit lower and the way he holds the notes and the way he sings and stuff, like it's really cool. It's really good.
Yeah,
And if you put this over like some blues or jazz music and stuff like that, it would be a really cool vocal performance.
yeah,
Not that it's not in this, but I'm just
right.
saying like he's super solid. So I do think that that is something that sets him apart. I think that there was a very conscious effort to make this music accessible, like you said, where there's no distortion on the guitars,
Mhm.
very organ driven,
Yeah,
very bass heavy driven kind of thing, and then a very solid vocalist. You could turn this on in front of anyone and no one is going to say a word. No
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Whether or not like it's their music, like no one's going to say anything, and that is a really cool way to get off a very important message.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, no, I think that these guys are absolutely killing it. I
So,
think they're nailing it.
a couple things before we move on from these guys that I want to mention. One funny story. So, like when we started talking about Bad Operation and stuff, like I listen to a lot of music with my son, and like we listen to ska music together
Yeah.
almost as a joke. I don't know. My son's at the age where like he only likes stuff that's funny, right? And so he
Okay.
listens to some ska music and he thinks it's funny and he loves it, right? So just as a joke and stuff, I always tell him like, don't trust anyone that says they don't like ska music, right? Like, because they're lying to
Fair.
you. You know what I mean? Like they're lying
Yeah.
to you. And so I was like, if you ever need to know, like if you can trust someone, just ask them, do they like ska music? And if they say no, don't trust them. So I guess like he went to school and asked his music teacher, he's like, hey, do you like ska music? And the guy's like, what? He's like, yeah. Do you like ska music? Like less than Jake? And he's like, oh, not really. And he's like, my dad tells me I shouldn't trust you then. So I just think
It's
that's
valid.
hilarious.
It's
It is
valid.
valid. It is valid.
So,
The other thing is I thought was really interesting when I was researching these guys is a lot of this started. A couple of these guys started with their own record label. I don't know
yeah.
if you read much on that. So they're involved in. It's called Community Records, based out of New Orleans. And I don't know if I made it clear before, but this band is based out of New Orleans. Self-titled album, Bad Operation 2020. Wavebreaker EP that I think is a split with Joe Gittleman. That's 2023, and then they had a single in 2024.
Yeah.
Anyways, on the other side of this, they started back in 2008. Well, no, it would have been 2008. I think it was a little after that. Anyways, they've got their own record label called Community Records, which is what's releasing Bad Operation as well. But one thing they said was they always wanted to be like more of a collective, and this is an article that I'm reading from Bearded Gentleman Music. It's an
Okay.
interview they did with them in 2020, so I'm referencing this article. The guy says we always want it to be more of a collective than a record label. They don't own the masters to anyone's music. They give the downloads away for free, and they try to do everything as a handshake deal, and they split the money usually like 50-50 with bands, if there are any profits, but
Proceeds.
that's not what it's about, right?
Sure.
I think that's incredible, dude. Like, especially nowadays, like we talk a lot of crap on like record labels. It's super easy to like not do the label thing because you can like record stuff. But if you have guys like this that have been around for a long time, that are very ingrained in the music, and have a record label to help these smaller bands just get started, because a lot of times like you don't know what you don't know, like this is the way to do it, man. Like respect to these guys, they're making killer music, right? And they're also like building up a scene, and like they said, a community. They named it Community because that's what they wanted it to be, and it seems like they're trying to do it the right way. Like I just have a ton of respect for that, you know.
Yeah. 100%. I totally agree with you. The other thing that I found that I thought was interesting. So the first album was actually like co-released. So it was Community Records, but also Bad Time Records,
Okay,
which is ran by one of the Kill Lincoln members.
right.
So what I found super interesting is again, these guys are going on tour with Kill Lincoln, Jer, and Bad Operations. And if you go through and you look at some of the stuff and read some of the stuff, they kind of pass members around. So
Yeah.
where you're talking about community and like building stuff up, like it, it's kind of the epitome of what's going on or what it feels like going on in the ska scene, where it's just like, hey, we're gonna go out on tour. It's a band of 4 or 5 guys, right? Five
Yeah.
guys. There's probably going to be 8 people on stage, nine
Yeah.
people on stage, and that's probably going to be the way that it's going to go for all 3 bands.
Yeah.
Is they're probably just up there, just having a good time, doing their thing, and it's just going to be like a party. So no, it's super dope. It's really cool what they have going on and what they're building up, and I think that ska is in an interesting place where bands like Bad Operation are putting out stuff like this. Kill Lincoln, much more heavy on the punk aspect.
Yeah.
Like you listen to some of their stuff, and you're like, oh, this is pop punk. And then there's a couple horns, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's pop punk with a horn. You know what I mean? Like that's not what Bad Operations is. So to be able to like kind of bridge those gaps and make something accessible for everyone, I think that's where ska lives. And maybe why it gets the bad raps is it doesn't quite know what it is. It's that it's
Maybe.
that little redhead stepchild that doesn't quite know where they fit it in the family
Which
kind of
is
thing. So
which is funny because it's been around for like 60 years. It's been around longer than any of the music
any
that
of
we're
it.
listening to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
So
it's
go
cool.
check these. Yeah, go check these guys out. Please go listen to their music. It's seriously so good. If you get a chance to see them, go see them. I need to find a way to see them too. So yeah,
March, bro. Fly out.
March. Yeah, it'll be good.
Come
It'll be
on.
good. So yeah. All right, let's go. Let's move on to the next one. So this next band that we're going to talk about, I was brain rotting on social media, and one of the advertisements popped up, and I hear this like glorious guitar, dude, and then like the vocals come in, and it's like this glorious scream,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, I got to check these guys out. So they're called Backlash, and they are from Sydney, Australia, which is crazy. It's not crazy that like Sydney has good music. Obviously, Australia has some of the like best metalcore to exist, but we don't usually get stuff for bands that are outside the U.S. So um, this
Yeah.
band released a song, Backlash released a song called Forever Indebted on January 9th. I know it's only like middle of January, but this is the best song from a local band I've heard in a real long time. What do you think about them? Let's just start with the single. What did you think about this when I sent it to you, and like why we're talking about them now?
Dude, the single, it's going to be up there for potentially one of the best singles that drops this year. And again, like you said, we're only 3 weeks into January. Uh, Immediately when I listened to this, the first thing that came to mind was Boundaries. Just
Okay.
that it's that heavy metalcore on the verge of deathcore, but not quite deathcore. Like there's times on this album, it's going to be interesting, like connecting with these guys and learning a little bit more to find out, like, are you trying to be in the metalcore world, in the deathcore world? Like, does it really matter to you guys, kind of thing? But that for like it starts with just like the drum hit and straight into his vocals. And it's dope because there's a couple of times right at the beginning of your song where you're like, this is going into a 2-step. But then they keep it in the pocket of just this really nice, like heavy melodic and stuff. But
Yeah.
then there is a 2-step payoff just a little bit later into the song.
Uh,
It's phenomenal. But the thing that really caught me is a little bit into the song. Let's see, where is this? I think it's I'd have to go back and listen. I'll listen and then I'll point it out. But he draws out the words. So like there's points where it's like it's heavy, it's like breaking down, and he's holding on to the words and really going. And I was like, that just it sounds so good. Sounds so nasty. And then there's also a part where he's like, everyone effing dies or something like that. But it goes into staccato and like everything's like cutting. And
yeah.
it's just like it's a break and it's heavy and it makes like what he's saying just that much more audible. And like, dude, the song, it's fantastic.
It
I
is.
mean,
It is.
listen,
It is fantastic, dude. I've probably listened to this song 100 times in the last couple days.
yeah,
That I have discovered them for myself. Right. There's just so many things that it does spot on. Like I've said it before. Like I'm a huge sucker for melodic stuff, but this is not Misery Signals melodic. This is like heavy metalcore, and it's not a it's like a little more than a tease, right? Like it's like we're going to third base with like the melodic stuff. We're not going home, like we're going to like it's like we're on second, stealing third for melodic, you know what I mean?
right.
And I guess they're from Australia, so I guess it's like what, you're halfway between the wickets, and you're like, I don't know if they have the same terminology for cricket, but you know, um, they like do just enough to like scratch the itch of the melodic part so well, but it's not overdone.
Yeah,
And there's so many things that are just like so unique about it. We sent it to like our buddy Chris, and he was like, "Man, they're like all over the place, but in the best way." You know,
yeah,
like you almost don't know where they're gonna go next, but somehow it fits in perfectly. Um, like you get into like 55 seconds of the song, and like they haven't done this before, but at 55 seconds, all of a sudden you get the really fast double bass pedal that's going along with the verse, you
yeah,
know, and then it like stops. It like stops, and you get this like little melodic guitar intro, and then it goes into like a chuggy almost breakdown thing, and then they tease you a little bit with a little bit of like melodic guitar over the top of it, and I don't know, dude, it's just so cool. And then I wanted to ask you this. Uh, First of all, before I get into it, first of all, the breakdown in this,
oh
like
yeah, it's
halfway through the song,
nasty,
unbelievable, dude. Where it like
just
stops and he's like,
nasty.
"I'll put you in a grave," and then it just
Yeah,
like hits, and then it goes, and then it stops, and then it goes even slower, and it's like, dude, I don't know, dude. Like my mind exploded during it, and then they stop and like do the little, what do you call it? Like an interlude within the song, like the bridge part,
yeah, it's the bridge. It's the
and
bridge part of the song.
they add like the sound clip, and they like tease you with a little guitar solo, and
Okay,
then it
so
goes
let's
right
talk
into the
about
chorus.
this.
Dude, I think it's so sick. I think it's
Let's
so
talk
sick.
about this. Okay,
Okay.
if you want to get your girlfriend, a spouse, someone to listen to this music, what is the best accent out there? Like Australian accents, they're hot, man. Like, like the girls love Australian accents. So, like, listen, Backlash. Every single one of your song needs an interlude where you're just talking because that's the only way my wife's listening to this music with me.
Did your wife listen to it because of that?
Oh hell no, I'm just kidding. But like I'm just saying.
All right.
But like if you want to get someone to listen to it, just be like, listen, this dude has a heavy ass vocal, but listen to this part. Listen to how soothing this guy's voice is, and let him
Dude,
just talk to you. Like it is
Americans are
so sick,
dumb. Americans are
so
dumb. That's
good.
why.
Fair,
Yeah, dude.
fair.
The like the bridge interlude part, and then it like outros of that part with like the like melodic guitar and stuff, and then it goes right into the chorus, dude. It's just it's so good. I genuinely think this might be one of the best like local songs that we've heard since we've done this. Like,
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
no,
dude. I'm
it's
so
phenomenal.
impressed by it. I'm
And
so
so
impressed
back
by it.
back to what I was talking about, where he's like drawing out like the vocals and stuff. It's at 40 seconds, so I found it,
Okay.
and like he's drawing it out, and it's just heavy right there. And then they're throwing the panic chords over the top of it, and like the panic chords usually are like jolting a little bit, right?
Right.
Like it's not jolting in this for
No.
whatever reason. It just adds to the slow melodic nature of the song, and it's just something kind of built into it. It's like I don't know if it's the mix that they did with them, but like they're perfect, man. It's just like it's a sick addition to what they're
Yeah.
doing, but it's not like so jolting where like panic
Right.
chords are supposed to invoke like, oh shit, like
Panic.
something's going down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Something could go down through this whole song, but it's not because of the panic chords.
Right.
So no,
Yeah.
it's done so well.
I mean, it's crazy. We've talked like 10 minutes on one song, but like I mean, I know we say this about a lot of bands, and like we've been very, very fortunate to find the bands like that we've talked about and stuff because it's just great music. But like, genuinely, guys, like you need to go listen to the song. I posted a little clip of it, you know, when I had listened to them, and I hope people went and listened. But like, genuinely, this is some damn good metalcore, hardcore. Like seriously, and then we're just talking about one single that they've released in January. Um, So they've got an EP that they released in 2024, which is The Hell We Find Ourselves In. Um, and then they also have a couple songs from 2022 that are, it just
Yeah,
says No Peace in the Reprieve. I don't know how you say that.
yeah,
Single, but there's 3 songs in it. So,
yeah.
um,
Which, by the way, a facade is a phenomenal song. It's heavy, it's aggressive, and you get a heavy two step in there. Like this is the thing is like they sit in the hardcore world with the way that they two step and stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I think like that's a lot of like the difference between a lot of like heavy deathcore and stuff like that is you lose the two step ability. And like these guys
yeah.
keep it. And there's clips of like the vocalists jumping off the stage, moshing during the songs, moshing during the sets. Like it's all super sick. That song is fantastic itself too.
It's very, it's interesting though, right? Because like even in a facade, like there's parts and with his vocals that you could argue this like flirts with the deathcore line,
It
right?
is it is right on the
Yeah,
border.
right. But I think what makes them good, in my opinion, based off of my personal likes, is that it's not this like whiplash of vocals. I like that he kind of stays in the range that he's good at, you
Yeah,
know? Um, like I think that's what pulls it back into the metalcore realm a little bit. But like you said, I mean, we complain all the time about metalcore because they lose the core aspect of it
yeah,
outside of breakdowns, right? A lot of modern metalcore, they call it metalcore just because they have a breakdown. That's not enough. Like you can tell these guys, like this is, in my opinion, one of the better definitions of metalcore because you get
yeah,
both of it, right? And you know, I don't know how long these guys have been doing music. I don't know how long they've necessarily been a band or things like that. Like, obviously, these 3 songs are from 2022 and they just released one in 2026. So that's like 4 years. But what's cool is even in these like 2022, 3 songs, 2024, 5 song EP, and then 1 single, it's like you can hear the growth and like they've gotten better at their instruments. Not that they
yeah,
were bad before, but they've gotten better and have been able to create an even more unique sound. It's awesome to see a
yeah,
band do that, right?
yeah,
And it's all good. It's all good, but like you just listen to some bands and you just know like these guys truly are artists, right? They
yeah,
truly are artists with their instruments, and I'm like super pumped to see what they have because
yeah.
none of it's bad, dude. You know?
Yeah. So where you're talking about like flirting with deathcore, right? Listen to Abject Horror. Abject Horror off of the hell we find ourselves in is probably the best definition of what we're talking about because that opening riff right there, it's a deathcore riff. It totally is a deathcore riff, and
Right.
it's heavy, it's aggressive, but again, it keeps in kind of that hardcore realm because you do pull in the two step later. But dude, the breakdown in this song, go to like a minute 30 and the guitar is like I was at a recidivist show. It might have been the album release recidivist show. And at one point, there's a guy standing in the corner with his hands in his head, just head bobbing like that. And that breakdown is exactly how I feel watching that is put your hands up and you just want to head big while
Yeah.
everyone is just moshing around you, throwing down, like getting aggressive. Like it it fits so well. So the one thing I did find on Instagram that I'm actually really curious about is was that this year or a few months ago? I don't remember, but they did a post about playing an all ages show. And I guess that's a very rare occurrence right now in Australia.
Okay.
Like I the post said something about like we want to do more of these. We want to be able to play more all ages. and it's just not happening. So I'm actually really curious to learn a little bit more about the Australia scene for where it is today. Because like you look back on like the old Parkway videos and stuff, those dudes were what, 15, 16 when they started Parkway Drive?
Something
Like,
like that. Yeah.
like we've always said, everyone has always said, hardcore is not going to be around if the younger generation doesn't keep it going. Because like it's built for younger people, between moshing, stage diving, all of the stuff that's involved with it. Like
Yeah.
at some point, your body breaks, and like that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious, like with how sick, how heavy all of this stuff really is. Like, is the Australian scene starting to shift back? Did it start to get old for a little bit? And maybe that's why we saw so much deathcore coming out of Australia for a while, because like, or just like progressive metalcore. So you had like North Lane, you had like the Amity Affliction,
Mm.
but then like Make Them Suffer, Alpha Wolf, all those bands came out of Australia. I wasn't listening to a ton of Australia then, but now you have Speed, right? Now you've got bands like Backlash. You're getting the resurgence of I Killed the Prom Queen is doing a couple shows, a few
Yeah.
things. So maybe the scene's starting to get young again.
I wonder. I wonder if it's like because I think these guys are from Sydney. I wonder if it's a venue problem. Like, I wonder
I
if in
mean,
a
I think
big,
that's part of it.
I wonder if in a big city like Sydney, it's hard to find a venue that's not attached to a bar. And I don't know what the laws are like
Yeah.
out there, if that makes it difficult. I mean, you look at maybe bands like Parkway Drive that were not necessarily from like the big city. It's probably easier to find a DIY venue. I mean, those guys did most of it, right? Didn't they have their own? Like, weren't they throwing their
Yeah, I
own
mean, they
shows and
played in
stuff?
like
Like,
their basement and stuff like that.
yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I just am super happy that like we're getting bands that are from outside the US because I think it's important this music gets everywhere. And I think that we're obviously very fortunate to be in the US because there's a lot of bands here, but
Right.
there's great music everywhere, man. And like genuinely, this is like one of the like I would be shocked if these guys don't make more noise around the scene because they're great, dude. Like um was it how do you say that? Pious? The
What?
third song featuring Mackenzie Begg.
Oh, I
God,
don't
that
know.
song's so good, dude. The breakdown, like
Yeah, dude.
with like the bass line where it just gets really heavy with the bass and the guest
Yeah.
vocals come in and then
Yeah.
it just gets way heavy. Like it's so good, dude. It's so creative. Like these guys deserve a bunch of credit and they deserve to kind of blow up however they can.
Yeah. No, 100%. So I'm super stoked for them. I think that they are doing it right. The heavy metalcore bordering deathcore, I think, is a good, solid way to go. Like we have the MySpace deathcore resurgence. I like this more than the MySpace
Yeah,
deathcore
me too.
resurgence kind of thing, where it's treading that line. And like we all know that Kyle's a wuss when it comes to deathcore. So if we can get him to listen to stuff like this, we need more of it. So
Nah, dude,
absolutely.
yeah. I mean, if deathcore sounded like this, dude, I'd tell you it was my favorite genre. But you know, it is. I mean, again, I know we've said this like 100 times already right now, but like they blend these genres so well.
Yeah.
Like, because you get bands like Volcano or like Torena, like the really heavy hardcore stuff, and like I just feel like, and we talk about the same thing with like Beatdown and Slam is like it sometimes lacks depth to me. You know,
Yeah.
like a lot of times it's just heavy for heavy's sake, and that's cool. I like some of those bands. But this to me was like genuinely heavy, but also like there's depth to the songs. Like again, I'm gonna swoon over Forever Indebted for a long time because the song is
100%.
so good. There's so much depth to this song, like so
Yeah.
much depth to it, and like it takes a lot of talent to do what they did. So that's
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop gushing over them, even though I'm not. I'm gonna go and keep listening to them. It's just so good. You guys gotta listen to it seriously.
Yeah. So that was Forever Indebted by Backlash. If you're going to go and change it up and listen to some Bad Op, what song are you recommending from Bad Op for people to go listen to?
Grandma's Car, 100%.
All right, sweet. We're on the
Oh,
same page there
yeah,
then.
dude, that
So
song's so
yeah,
good.
dude, Grandma's Card, so fantastic. If you
Yeah.
do want something off their first album though, Peachy, I thought Peachy was great. Um, but yeah, Bad Op is super sick. But dude, dope. I mean, completely opposite, right?
Completely
Completely
opposite.
opposite. But
Yeah.
both are fantastic in what they're doing in their own ways. Like we said, Bad Op is unique to ska just because a lot of ska was gone the pop punk route,
Right.
punky, more aggressive, and they went back towards the reggae. Backlash is that bordering heavy ass metalcore, pushing deathcore, but keeping true to the more hardcore style. Like, yeah, dude, both are just
If
fantastic at what they're
if
doing.
this is what 2026 has for us, then like musically, we're gonna be fine, man.
Gonna be a good year.
It's gonna be a good year. I
Yeah.
mean, even at the beginning of this, talking about Poison the Well and Converge,
Yeah.
like, and then this stuff, and dude, it's like this will be a good year. I think that it's no coincidence that we start getting good music when the rest of the world's going to shit. So, you know,
Dude. I mean, yeah.
not much more to say about that other than like stay safe and like freaking, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
You know, so
that's a super fair point. And we've said it before, and like end it at Flyover Fest, being like, the shit's not going to change until big bricks are being thrown.
mhm.
Like we're on the teetering point
Yeah,
of what's happening, and again, like you just said, man, just stay safe. If you're out there protesting, protest safely for all it's worth. So
yeah.
yeah,
We're and I guess also like just remember your community. You know,
yeah,
remember that a
yes,
lot of the people we're protesting for and getting pissed off about is because I mean those are people in our community too, right? So
yeah,
like do what we got to do for our community. That's what this scene's always been about. It's what it's always going to be about. So
yeah,
when it comes down to it and bricks start get thrown, like that's we do it for our community. We do it for the people we care about. So
yeah. No, so
and pit
dope.
therapy will be right along there with you. So
This just ended really solemnly.
I know.
On a better note, the Rams won. Screw
How's
Caleb
that a better
Williams.
note, dude? Come on.
Dude,
Okay.
screw Caleb Williams. The Rams won. It's a better note. And also, the Rams Seahawks game is probably going to be the best game of this postseason.
Maybe. Yeah, because Bo Nix
Whoever
is
wins
out.
whoever wins that's going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Listen, Patriots are up there, but whoever wins that's winning the Super Bowl. So
It's crazy. I've become a Seahawks fan, dude.
dude, I've been a Seahawks fan since like 2012, 2010, 2010,
Wow.
bro. It's
Dude,
been
I
forever.
grew up being a Broncos fan, man. John Elway, all the way, dude.
I mean, I was too growing up, and then he retired, and I didn't care about football for a while. So.
Yeah. Go Cowboys. See ya. Bye.
See ya.